Remember when TV series used to have longer seasons, whether it be TV shows, animated shows, they would have longer seasons of stuff. Some would be like about 22 or 26 episodes a season. And it would really flesh out the characters, the story, the very life and everything from it so that you would be interested. You could sit there and you could get interested in these characters. No, everything is let's just do 8 and maybe 10 episode seasons, throw it all out there and expect you to get absolutely engrossed and truly emotionally attached to these characters and these stories, even though if you cough twice, it over and they try to act like they've been there for years. It doesn't really work. It doesn't. And one of the shows that suffers from this badly is Star Trek. And it seems that the guy behind Star Trek Voyager and several other Star Trek shows have also come to realize that. Dive into this article here from Bounding into Comics. Star Trek Voyager boss says TV hurt by shorter seasons. Shows now feel like Tinder relationships. Yeah, I would agree with that. In the opinion of Star Trek Voyager showrunner Brannon Braga, a major reason behind the once beloved franchise's recent lack of magic is the fact its TV output has significantly cut back on their total number of episodes per season, which, while more cost effective, has the unfortunate side effect of making it near impossible for anyone to care about investing their time and attentions into a given show. Again, this is what I'm talking about. They say, it's more cost effective. How could it be more cost effective when it's hurting your bottom line? You need these shows to have long seasons so people could be invested. No, don't get me wrong. It still have some shows that do have. I think NCIS is run for like 22 episodes a season or something like that. But I don't even watch it anymore because all the people who I like in it gone. I mean, McGee is still there, but I really, he ain't enough to hold up the show in my opinion. But let's say the rest of it, you got to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times where when you do short episodes, I mean, like even when you look like anime, for instance, some anime are 12 episodes, some are 24 episodes, some run long seasons, shows like Naruto, Bleach, Black Clover, well, One Piece going on and on and on and on and on, and people still enjoy it because the stuff in it is still good. But you've got to know. But there are some anime, even when they run 12 episodes, it doesn't feel good at all. So sometimes it feels rushed and you can't get into the story. This is what happens. When you come out and say, well, we're just saving money because things too expensive, so we just go in and make 8 episodes. And in those 8 episodes, you're supposed to feel like you've known these people for years. No. You need time to properly flesh this out, and you're not doing that. Braga, whose other franchise writing credits include Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Generations, Star Trek First Contact, and Star Trek Enterprise, which he also co-created, offered his thoughts on the current state of Star Trek TV during the second of the recent Star Trek Las Vegas Trek to Vegas Convention's 2 Voyager 30th Anniversary Cast Reunion panels, as attended by himself, Kate Mulgrew, Ethan Phillips, Robert Duncan McNeil, and Garrett Wang McNeil. Okay, so we got there, and Kate Mulgrew, that's Captain Janeway. Okay, as recapped by TrekMovie.com, in answering a fan question for any updates regarding each panel guest's recent passion projects, Mulgrew spoke on her work on Apple TV's Dope Thief, therein admitting that she was at a loss as to how, despite the series pulling in rave and an Emmy nomination for her co-star Brian Tyree Henry, it made almost no impact with general audiences. Yeah, because people, you see, the people have this is wrong belief, and everybody is wrong. Yes, Okay, let me start off with the part that actually true. Then I'll get to the part that's wrong. Yes, people's attention span now has dropped significantly because of things like TikTok and all kind of thing. Everybody wants to get everything in just like 2 minutes, and they go with it and they move on to something else, move on to something else, move on to something else. It happens. Nobody's saying no. But here's the flip side to why what do I say people, but I say people get it wrong in regards to it. That does not mean that people don't have the attention span to sit and enjoy something for a period of time once it's good. They get this idea in their head that all you need is 8 and 10 episodes because that's all the time average people are willing to spend with something. And you hurt yourself and your bottom line by doing that. You cannot just say that, okay, we're going to just do, and that's why I keep saying in regards to that, I talk about how it is, people who grew up with television thing in the 90s and the early 2000s went through some of the best years of television that they ever had. And you could still bring that back. But you keep wanting to act like, to evolve, you need to forget what was done before and then create something like that, and that doesn't work. People have short attention span when it comes to certain things, yes, but that doesn't mean people's attention span is completely gone. They could sit down, look at something, enjoy it, and continue to do what they have to do. But if you don't give them the opportunity, it's never going to happen. Continue on it. Turning to Braga, Mulgrew asked a former showrunner if he had any idea why some TV shows fall under the radar, to which he theorized that the problem may be that there's just too much content for audiences to realistically give their attentions to. That could be an issue. I'll tell you that really and truly could be an issue because you see, the thing about it is that because they keep making these things shorter and shorter and shorter, they keep putting out so much content sometimes that it doesn't even turn out to be actually good. They're not taking the time to sit down and really go through how to make something good. I'm not saying that you shouldn't make stuff and content and something like that. No. But if something is really good and it gets lost in the sea of mediocre nonsense that you keep making, it's very unlikely most people will even find it. There are a lot of good programs out there right now. I shouldn't say a lot. There are some good programs out there right now that most people have no idea even exist because they don't get the opportunity to see them because there's so much nonsense surrounding everything else. To this end, Braga argued that the solution to this problem would be for the general TV landscape to reverse course and return to lengthier seasonal episode counts, and in keeping his argument relevant to his audience, he elaborated on this point through the lens of modern day Star Trek. I'll continue on and I'll see what I have to say. I look at this audience and I think you're here because you had a long-term relationship with Voyager. Voyager was 26 episodes a year. Some of you probably keep it on because it's cozy and that's the kind of relationship you had. A lot of shows now are Tinder relationships. 8 episodes every 2 years. I don't think so. That's not going to be something you necessarily pass on to your kids. Exactly. 100% agree. And I think that's a loss. It's a new paradigm and some shows are still doing it. NCIS, like I mentioned it before, you see, does like 22. But I really don't know what's in store for the future of Star Trek, the TV franchise anyway. But I hope that eventually they get back to a longer, more sustained season. It's hard to make big TV shows. It's complicated. Then again, how did we do 26 episodes on Voyager? It's like a miracle. One of my subscribers, whenever he comments on certain stuff and we talk about it, he always says that, one of the problems, especially when it comes to animated shows, is that the seasons are too short. The episode counts are too short. And I 100% agree. 100% agree. And it's the same thing, like I say, when it comes to other TV shows. You keep making the episode counts at this thing shorter because you say it takes too much money to do. But you hurt your bottom line when you do this because, as he said here, people they had a long-term relationship, but they get to keep it on because it's cozy. I think you could sit and watch things from back then now and still enjoy yourself. I could tell this honestly till this day, I could rewatch episodes of Star Trek Next Generation, Stargate, all these different shows and others, and I still feel good. I still say, okay, this is relaxing. I enjoy this. When it comes to most of the people out there now, I watch it once and I have no interest whatsoever in going back to see it again. Sometimes, like I say, once in a while you may get something good, okay. Other than that, no. Even when it comes to animation, a lot of times you keep making these shows and these seasons too short for it and expect people to get involved in it. That doesn't work. That does not work at all. And it's not just the episode count alone. You need to start making things that are actually good. Take, for instance, Star Trek Discovery. Okay, Star Trek Discovery is a horrible show. That's just a synonym with a horrible show. It has some nice visual, but it's a horrible show. I could go this entire video talking about all the things wrong with Star Trek Discovery, but just to keep it in line with what I'm talking about when it comes to the episode count. Star Trek Discovery was like about what? 8 or 10 episodes a season. And they really expected people to become so emotionally involved with these characters that when something happened to one of them, you're supposed to feel it. No. I remember when the doctor, who was with the other fellow, whatever, the doctor got his neck broken and died. I think I yawned and that was pretty much it. Don't really care. Even when the woman with red curly hair ended up getting sucked into some kind of thing, and they thought she was dead, I was like, yeah. So what's gonna happen next? Anything else? Anything I interest? And that was it. You have no emotional attachment to these characters. Even Michael Burnham. Like I say, I like the idea of her, not the execution. They keep acting like you're supposed to be emotionally involved with characters. No, she was going to the future, and the entire Discovery crew said, hey, you know what? We're going to jump 900 years into the future with you because we've known you for 2 months and we love you so much. What kind of madness is that? It's not that interesting. You look at Star Trek Generations, Star Trek Next Generation, for instance. If they had to jump into the future by about, let's say, season 3, nobody would have questioned that because those people had become a family by then. You wanted to do that by the second season and then act like, oh, that's some big thing. You've known these people for 2 months. Why would they do that? There is nothing to connect anything when it comes to it's just absolutely ridiculous. This is what's going on. So these shorter episodes dilute anything that these shows actually are supposed to be and then hurt your bottom line overall. That's what happens. And before fans of the Orville rightfully bring up the Seth MacFarlane-led series' spotty release schedule, I have yet to watch the Orville in its entirety. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes. I was meaning to go back, but I haven't. So Braga did cop to the fact that the titular spaceship only flies every few years, ultimately admitting I should talk for their speaking to the show's current status, particularly light in the lack of either a renewal or cancellation notice from Hulu in the 3 years since season 3 debuted. Braga told fans, Seth and I have been nodding a season 4 for the Orville, but that has yet to actually become official. But it's still very much alive in our imaginations. Yeah, hopefully it will happen. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Man had every right to think so. Because Star Trek cut down the number of episodes. And now there is no involvement when it comes to it. I mentioned Star Trek Discovery, nothing there. There's the new one, I'm thinking Star Trek Strange Worlds. People watch it, yeah. I didn't like the setup of what they did to Captain Pike. I didn't like that at all. I don't think he should really know his future. I find that was a stupid to be all on the scene and that. I don't think they should do that. But I'm just saying, you cannot come out and act like this is supposed to be something different. No, These shorter episodes damage these shows because when you keep doing that, you don't give these things time to properly develop and give people any kind of opportunity to really get some kind of emotional attachment to them. And this is the problem. But you can find a way to fix this if you could find a way to do things properly. Go back to what works and start to build from there. People have long attention span when it comes to something interesting that they want to see. Work with that. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like, if you could hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.